Well, hello, and welcome to New Forest Gravel. Yes, I've come down, left early this morning, left about 6 a.m., and I've come down, I parked in a place called Boulderwood, which is in the New Forest, and I've come out on a kind of gravel ride. I'm following a route by some people I follow on YouTube called the Wheelers at Large. Good channel if you want to follow their stuff. They do a lot of gravel rides. Well, I think I'm following it. The trouble is, I'm in the New Forest, right? Okay, I don't know if you know the New Forest, but it's a bit newer than the Old Forest. The Old Forest is also slightly to the left, whereas we're in the newer forest. There is an even newer forest, which is a bit further to the right. But I'm in the New Forest, and there's no signal. I mean, can you imagine it? 400 million, or was it 70,000 years of civilization? I've been reading *Sapiens*. Have you read that book? Somebody I know calls it *Sapiens*, but I call it *Sapiens*. And what was I going to say there? Anyway, and he says in that book, right, 70,000 years of civilization, they haven't even got a signal in the New Forest. I mean, go figure, as they say. Who knew? Who knew? Anyway, so no signal, so I'm struggling to find the route. Morning. Talking to a man who won't walk past there. Shall I turn the camera around so you can see him? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Look, there he goes. A mysterious figure walking down the path. Back to me, Keith. Yeah, so here I am back again. Don't know how long the route is. I think it's about 23 miles, but the fact is I've been riding for an hour and I've only gone 3.5 miles because I keep on stopping to take video for you guys. I mean, it's a faff, I've got to be honest. It's a faff. But maybe you enjoy it. Maybe you leave a comment down below if you enjoy it. Leave a comment down below if you don't enjoy it. Mick S, big shout out to Mick S. Mick S always comments on my videos. Good to see you, Mick. Good to hear from you. More comments, please. Always welcome. And if you leave a comment, by the way, and I don't reply to it, please don't think that I'm ignoring you. I mean, I am ignoring you, but please don't think I'm ignoring you. Think I'm kind of what's the word? I'm absorbing the comment. I'm trying to think of a witty reply. And if you don't get a reply, it's because I couldn't think of a witty reply. So, you know, there you go. Anyway, shall we carry on with the ride, or do you want to hear some more about me talking? Let's carry on with the ride. I would. Well, you're not here. I'm on my own. Look, it's deserted. Nobody here. In the New Forest. There might be people in the Old Forest. There might be people in the even newer forest, but there aren't any people, well, except that bloke who just went past the previous fellow on about it. But you know what I mean. There's no people here in the New Forest. Now, this is believed to be the first prehistoric pizza oven found in the Western Hemisphere. Excavations have shown that a popular topping was the great Hawaiian topping, pineapple. Archaeologists, anthropologists, scientists, other well-educated people are unable to explain how pineapple made its way from Hawaii to here in the New Forest. It's not known whether delivery services were available. It's what they call a cattle crossing. I think the cattle are waiting for the lolly cow lady to come along so they can cross. Hello, Mr. Cow. Or was it a Mrs. Cow? I'm not very good. Where'd you get milk from? Is that from male cow? That's got to be female cows, isn't it? But I suppose cow doesn't really know what a road is, does it? But then humans don't know what it's like to chew a cud. Famous petrified forest. Oh, it's dark. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, what should I do? Yes, folks, welcome to the petrified forest. It really is. Do you have any idea how much work is involved in setting up that shot? I mean, if you're a YouTuber, you know. If you're not a YouTuber, well, YouTube it, Google it. Believe me, it's a lot of faff, and I'm not even sure it's worth it, to be honest. You may have heard me do this joke before, right? So there's these little kids at school, and they're on a magic slide, right? And whatever you say when you go down the slide, that's what you get, right? So first little kid, he goes down the slide, and he goes, Haribo! And he ends up in this enormous great pool of Haribo. So the next kid goes down and he goes, milkshake! And he goes down and he ends up in this great big gallons and gallons of milkshake. So the next little kid, you know, is this poor Harry, he goes down, or Kia, his name is Kia, you know, and he goes down, he says, wee! And he ends up in a great big lake of piss. I mean, you may have heard that joke before. Anyway, we're going down gravel. Can you hear the gravel? I'll shut up and you can hear the gravel. Doesn't say a lot, does it? Okay, we've come to a fork in the road. And what does Julian say? When you come to a fork in the road, take it. Now look at this absolute torrent of water. This comes down from the glacier, the Great Winchester Glacier, and it flows down over the land, I suppose, like a river, and it flows down this great big torrent of water. And people go kind of white water rafting, although at this time of year it's more like brown water rafting, or it's actually what we just call brown rafting, because there is no water. I'll tell you what there is also none of: people. Look, I'm going to pan around. Right, look, there's my bench. Well, not my bench, but a bench and my bike. Okay. Oh, I can hear something. I can hear a cyclist. I said there was no people, but it turns out there is people. Morning. Yeah, cyclists, they're going a lot quicker than I am. I just go quite slowly, but I don't mind. I'm not in any hurry. I'm just enjoying the gravel. Other cycling YouTubers, you always see them open the gate. So I think, you know, in case you don't know what it looks like to open a gate, and for somebody to go through a gate and then kind of turn around, right, trying to avoid falling off their bike, and then pushing the gate shut. Right, that's what it looks like. So now you know. Okay, I'm going up this climb now. The reason I'm being a bit quiet is there's some wild horses. Look, wild horses here, waiting for me, like spectators at the side of a Tour de France climb. And look, are they going to be like Phoebe the Devil? Are they going to run beside me? Look, they're going to be skittish. It's only horses who get skittish, isn't it? Do humans get skittish? Sometimes I get a bit skittish. And then off into the face. As I'm eating. Okay, I'm going to get all philosophical on your ass now. There's something about a forest and trees that really speaks to us as human beings. And I think one of the things about it is a kind of sense of permanence about a forest and trees. Now I know trees don't last forever, although they can last obviously for a very long time, until a couple of knobs decide to chop them down, like with the sycamore gap tree. But the thing about them chopping down the sycamore gap tree is that they took something from us. And what they took from us was something that lasts longer than we do. I don't know how long the sycamore gap tree had been there, but I think they said, you know, planting a couple of saplings from it, it's going to take 150 years before it grows up again to the height that it was, right? So Shall I turn you round to face me? Away from us, okay? They took that sense that we as human beings can last, and in chopping down the tree they kind of implied actually human beings don't last. So maybe they were making a statement about mortality. I don't think they were making a statement about mortality. I think they were making a statement about being a knob, personally. Here comes some more cyclists. It's getting a bit busy, isn't it? Getting like bloody Piccadilly Circus. Oh, I'm going to do a kind of Orson Welles shot now, where we go up to the gate, and then you see me go through the gate. Right, so imagine the camera isn't going to work, is it? The gate goes the wrong way. I thought I could push the gate. Now I've gone through the gate like Citizen Kane. Not that Citizen Kane was on a bike, but you know what I mean. God, this is tiring. What was that? Horses kind of living amongst all these houses. I mean, imagine where I am in West Wickham, in Kent, and you're just walking up to, I don't know, get a coffee at Filter or something. There's a couple of horses on the pavement. I mean, you'd think that's a bit weird, wouldn't you? I'd think it's a bit weird. Do you think it's a bit weird? He said, I ain't going to West Wickham. Don't blame me, mate. I don't know if they're actually wild in the sense that nobody owns them, or they're kind of wild but people do own them. That's the racehorses. See, just walking along the road, sticking to the speed limit, staying on the left, if you would. Now this landscape here is a bit different. As you can see, it's kind of flat, kind of, you call it kind of heathland or sort of scrub. And what I'm cycling over is not a gravel path, it's a kind of grassy path. Interesting, isn't it? Quite bumpy. But again, deserted. Shall I stop? You can see this kind of bare landscape and deserted. Well, except for me, obviously. Can you see? No. Bare landscape. Bare grills. Hamburger grills. Hot dog grills. Other grills are available. Recently about gravel riding in Kent, and I was talking about the monotony of landscape, and I know what I meant by that. I mean, this landscape is kind of, it's fascinating, it's beautiful in a way, it's stunning, but does it go on being beautiful and fascinating and stunning? I mean, does the next 100 yards end up quite similar to the previous 100 yards and the 100 yards before that, and so on and so forth? I'm not sure about that. I'm sorry to get all philosophical on your ass again, but that's the nature of the beast. That's the sort of person I am. You watch my channel, this is the kind of crap you're going to get, so you might as well get used to it. Or stop watching, of course. Wild horses. And look. There. A foal. Two foals even. Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? And you see the wild horses there. See them? So peaceful, isn't it? Ready?
Morning.
Ready?
All right.
Bit of a steeper section here, and I would have gone up it, honest. So there's some sandy bits down the bottom. And I was getting a bit skittish. And I'm probably a little bit wary, having fallen off the last 7 times that I've been out on the gravel bike. So discretion is the better part of Valerie, as they say. Who was it who said that the only perfect view is the view of the sky above our heads? Just drink in that perfect view, those immortal trees pointing at the heavens, and the heavens looking down on us where we lie. And that's me, looking up at the heavens, looking down on me where I lie. So I just stopped at this campsite, Aldridge Hill it's called. Looks very nice. I was talking to a lady saying, have you got a price list and so forth. And she said, it's all on the website. She said, but we've got a leaflet here, it doesn't have the prices on it. She says, but you've got to have your own toilet. She said, because we haven't got any facilities. So I said, can you buy them? She said, yeah, we sell them. She said, 25 quid. I said, no, that's not bad. She said, we've got one here, it's got a little crack in it. So you get 10% off. It's just a crack in the lid. I said, well, it's a good job it hasn't got a crack in the bottom. She said, what? I said, you don't want a crack in the bottom. She didn't laugh. I didn't buy the toilet. Now, who's that Scottish bloke who cycles a kind of BMX thing with a cut-down saddle over kind of bridges and logs and stuff? So I thought I'd try. Danny McCaskill, that was his name. So I thought I'd rock my kind of inner Danny McCaskill and ride across this log. Well, I'm not going to tell you what happened. Well, I am going to tell you what happened. I fell off, nearly broke my fucking neck. So, and I didn't film it because I kind of thought I might fall off. So anyway, this is before the attempt. You don't want to see after the attempt because I'll be filming from hospital. Well, I am filming from hospital. So I've stumbled across this cream tea place, well, cafe and farm shop and campsite, which looks very attractive. Rather a long queue, and people in front of me wanted to pay by card. The lady was not happy about that. God, she said, it takes forever to do that. Anyway, she disappeared, and another lady appeared in a much better mood with the machine, and that seemed to work. I paid by card. American Express. They took American Express, believe it or not. And I've ordered a cream tea. Oh, you wait until that comes. One of the things you noticed in a place like New Forest, and I may have mentioned this before, is if you get there early, there's nobody about, right? And if you get there after about 11 o'clock, it's crowded, okay, it's packed. Now, they first discovered this in the Middle Ages. And they used to hold executions, you know, drawings and quarterings at 7 a.m. in the morning, and they get hardly anyone there. They get a few cleaners, a couple of Deliveroo drivers, some drunks, you know, stumbling out of the pub, the nightclubs, you know, that early in the morning. And the people who are executed saying, this isn't fair, you know, I'm getting my head lopped off and there's nobody here to see it. So in the end they switched, and most of the executions then took place at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that is why football matches start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because having kicked the heads around, you know, the people who were executed in the Middle Ages, they then kicked the football around, decided to start at 3 o'clock because that's when the crowds would turn up, so they'd make more money. Makes sense to me. I mean, so if you're going to get executed, you know, my advice is, if you want people there, ask for an afternoon shift. And I mean, if you get a choice, of course you don't always. Sometimes you get a last meal, but you don't get a choice of when you get your head lobbed off. But if you don't want anybody there, say I'd like it at 7 a.m, 6 a.m. I say, well, you can't have it 6 a.m, mate. Execution doesn't start till 7. He's not getting overtime, you know, cost of living, cost cutting, that's what it is. Now look at that. Is that a cream tea or is that a cream tart? Now you might say, Julian, you can't eat all of that. Well, all I'm going to say is, you just watch me, pal. You just watch me, pal. Look at that. Scones, and look at this cream, look at that. I mean, is that not heart attack in a bowl? And we've got, I can't remember what she said, raspberry and blackcurrant jam, and look at that, coffee and walnut cake. She said they got rid of all the wasps. She said a man came and took 4 nests away, so I shouldn't be bothered by wasps. We'll see. Now, be honest. You didn't think I could do it, did you? Well, you probably did think I could do it. I can't manage the cake. It's pardon me. It's coffee and walnut. It's just there, in case you can't see it. It's just too sweet for me, and I think I've overdone it on the scones, which, as you can see, are no longer there. The jam, which I put the aluminium foil on, because despite what the lady said, I was attacked by a wasp. There's some jam left, but in terms of cream, you've got to say, I did well on the cream, and I'm still working my way through the tea. So I'd say, Julian, success. Telephone boxes repurposed as a kind of book lending. Lending, would you call it a lending library? Well, you can take a book and you can give a book, I suppose. It always tends to be, I don't want to be all kind of snooty about it, but I'm going to be all kind of snooty about it. It always tends to be the same books, the same type of books. Have you noticed? Perhaps somebody should do a project on whether repurposed telephone boxes as bookshops have a different kind of quality, standard, level of book, depending on the location. For example, in the New Forest, you get sort of posh middle-class books, whereas in, I don't know, Clacton or somewhere like that, you just get a lot of biographies of Nigel Farage, Maeve Binchy, Larson, Girl Who Played With Fire. I quite enjoyed that, I must say. Quite enjoyed that. Joseph Conrad, The Secret Agent. Don't see that very often. J.M. Coetzee, Summertime. Never heard of it. Dan Brown. Now, I mean, would you just... Oops, sorry. Dan Brown. Da Vinci Code. One of the greatest books ever written. Oh, Julian, you're such a snob. Everywhere you go there are car parks, right? And it says only park in car parks, don't park on the verge. So what do you get? You get some twats who park on the verge. And it's not as if car parks cost anything. They don't. I'll ride group of horses on the road just as I get back to the car park. And one of them, a foal. This, you know, that woman in Australia who poisoned her relatives with mushrooms. Do you think she got them from here? I mean, look at these. I mean, they're big babies, aren't they? Look at what about this one? What about this one? I don't know my mushrooms. These may be perfectly safe to eat. I'll nibble a bit and see what they're like. Oh, just a joke. And here, petrified fallen tree. Oh no, I don't like it. I don't like falling over in the forest when there's nobody to see me because I don't know if it happened or not. Oh, petrified tree stump. So, well, that was my New Forest gravel ride, and it was great. I loved it. Really varied terrain. There's gravel, there's dirt paths, there's road, there's quiet roads, there's more busy roads. It's generally flat. It's a fabulous place to ride your bike, fabulous place to ride a gravel bike, and most of the sections you could do on an ordinary bike, you could do on a road bike. I did a number of sections previously with my friend on Brompton bikes, and that was fine as well. It's probably not quite what you'd want if you're a serious kind of gnarly mountain biker. There probably isn't the kind of routes for that. I mean, there may be, but I didn't see them in terms of, you know, big jumps and big high hills or big drops or rocks or whatever, stuff like that you might like. If you're Tom Pidcock, for example. So there are gnarly bits, but probably not gnarly enough if you're a proper mountain biker. But for everybody else, and for a gravel bike, it's absolutely brilliant place. Now, as I say in the video, like most places in the world, if you get there early, and I was here on a Sunday in July, you'd expect it to be pretty busy, but if you get there early, sort of 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you'll have pretty much the whole place to yourself. It starts to fill up after about sort of 10:30, 11 o'clock, 11:30, 12. And if you get to the busier places like Lyndhurst and Brockenhurst and so forth, then you're going to have a lot of people, and you're probably going to have a traffic jam if you come in your car. But if you come in your car and park, please do park in a car park. Don't be a knob and park on the verge. The car parks are free. There's loads of them. They're all over the place. There is no need to be a twat and park on the verge, so don't do it. And okay, I've been Julian Hutchings. That's been my gravel ride in the New Forest. I did it incidentally on my Orbea Terra, which is a gravel bike, and I had 38mm tubeless tyres. So they were actually absolutely perfect for the terrain, absolutely perfect for all of the conditions that I faced. And I really enjoyed it, and I'll be coming back and doing some more riding. So hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, please like, please tell your friends, and make sure you watch out for my next videos. So thanks for watching.